And Mr. 70 Ben Griffin joins us now. Ben, I imagine when you missed the cut in Greensboro, you were a hot tamale. What was going through your mind? Did you think you'd missed out on the playoffs?
Yeah, I think the easiest way to say it was an emotional roller coaster this past weekend. There was a lot going through my head. I didn't know if it was my somewhat off season, for the next month and a half, 2 months, or if I was playing this week in Memphis. So in my head, I wanted to do what I could to prepare here for Memphis and just let the chips fall where they do. But I'd be lying if I didn't say I had flights booked for every single scenario. So I was ready to go home if I had to. I was ready to go to Memphis, and I'm very fortunate it worked out, and I have a chance to make a run at the playoffs here.
Ben, from being on the bubble last week, you're at the back of the pack this week as number 70, top 50. Move on to the BMW next week. Do you have a different mindset this week because you've got 4 rounds to try to make your move and you can't be sent home after 36 holes?
Yeah, I mean, you got to almost treat it like a regular event, though. I mean, just because I have 4 chances at it doesn't mean that one round can't just, erase my chances. I've got to stay focused from the get-go in the first round and stay focused the entire way. Just because there's not a cut doesn't mean there's, things are going to be given to me. I still got to go out there and earn it. But yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity, 4 times the points in the playoffs. So, a good finish here does a lot more than a solid finish, last week or any other week the rest of the year. So I know if I play really solid, get myself in the mix, hopefully, try to win, and that solves everything. But, if I play solid this week, I can easily work my way into next week. And, the better I play, the better chance I have of getting to East Lake, where it all comes down to that for the FedEx Cup. So just got to take it one day at a time, but I got to stay focused, that's for sure.
Ben, we saw your tweet to Justin Thomas and the flag stick. Where were you Sunday afternoon? Were you watching every shot? Were you on your phone? How'd you handle Sunday afternoon?
Sunday was a whirlwind. There were so many different, different scenarios that could have played out. I was trying my best to practice at the golf course. I was in Chapel Hill at my parents' house, and right across the street is UNC's facility. So I was back there with a couple guys from the team, with the coach there, practicing, trying to get my mind off of it. But, every 10 minutes I'd, hit a few balls and check my phone and run inside and look. But, after that rain delay, I was back at home with my parents and my girlfriend, and we were kind of sweating things out together. I told them they can't say a word unless it's a good thing, because there was just so much on my mind. Adam Scott had jumped me. There was a couple different scenarios where other guys could have, played their way into the 70. And, watching that chip coming down the stretch, I kind of knew if he made that, it was probably game over for me unless something catastrophic happened to one of the leaders, with that being Lucas Glover or Horschel. Those guys were kind of controlling my destiny. So there's so many things. JT Poston made his par putt. Michael Kim birdied the last hole. It was nuts. I didn't know what to think. I was, I'm obviously pulling for myself, trying to give myself a chance, but everything was out of my control, and I just had to let things happen. And so very fortunate for things to have worked out, and you got to feel for Justin Thomas. That was an incredible effort. I don't know how that chip didn't go in. I got a text right before the chip happened. My TV was a little delayed, and it was just the big eye emojis, and I was like, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? And watched it happen, and I couldn't believe it. It was nuts, and I hate to see it come down to that is the reason he's not here and I'm here. But I've got a chance. I earned enough points to make it, and now I've got to do my best to take advantage of it and try to make a run and create a cool story.
Let's hope it's not as stressful on Sunday this week as it was last week. Have you done any investigating of the sort of what you need to qualify for the top 50 next week? Are any of those projections on your radar at all?
Yeah, unfortunately, I had so much time this past weekend to look at just about every single scenario for everything. So I know that a top, 7 or 8 probably gets me enough points to next week, and a top 3 probably gets me to East Lake. It's a tournament, though. I talked about this last week. I try to talk about it every week, and when when my tee time starts on Thursday, my mindset's all on trying to get the job done. Now, do I know what position I need to finish to make it? Yeah, I do, absolutely. We did some of the math, and I just had too much time on my hands to where I was looking at too many things. I'd say any other week I don't really care, and I'm just trying to win and show up to the tournament and do my best. So I do know what's at stake. There's a lot, and I'm very fortunate to be here and to have that chance to make a huge run.
So best case scenario, we're talking to you again next week as we did last week. Worst case scenario, if you don't make the BMW, are you happy with how your rookie season has gone out there?
Yeah, I said this last week too. It's been an awesome year. As a rookie, you don't have anything guaranteed to you early on, and I was able to work my way into some big time events, the Arnold Palmer, major championships, the Players Championship. A lot of those events rookies don't have a chance at, and so I was able to play in a lot of events this year. I was able to get a lot of experience, and I think as a rookie, my expectations, I want to win as soon as I can, but also this first year, I want to get comfortable with all these golf courses, get a feel for how the flow of things are, figure out where I might want to take a week off next year and give myself more rest leading up to events. So I've learned so much this year, and as a rookie, I mean, that's really what all you can ask for. Try to, get comfortable playing against the best players in the world, figure out what courses you like the most, and just try to learn and figure out your stats. Playing on the PGA Tour, I have access to all the data online to figure out where exactly I'm lacking compared to the best players, where I'm doing a better job. So I can figure out, what I need to do to be better this offseason and try to improve on certain areas to, get in the mix more often next year and try to, get that first win and break that barrier. So, overall, it's been an awesome year. Just to make it to the playoffs with it only being 70 this year is, I think, a good accomplishment for me. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't hungry for more, though. But, whatever happens, I'm happy with where I'm at, and all I can do is try my best this week.
And, Ben, you've done this in the midst of a very turbulent year in professional golf. Yesterday, a players' meeting with the commissioner, Jay Monahan. Did you go? What is your assessment of where things stand outside the ropes in the game?
Yeah, it's definitely a turbulent time. I personally did not go. I was on the golf course preparing for the tournament this week. I had some flight issues. On top of that, my clubs didn't make it until mid-morning yesterday, so I knew I needed to play 18 holes, especially with a little bit of weather today. I wanted to make sure I got 18 holes in yesterday. I heard maybe a third of the players here might have gone. I don't really know what information was really given. I remember back at the RBC Canadian Open, people were talking about Tommy Fleetwood, how he was kind of avoiding some of the meetings and just focusing on the tournament. I really loved it when I saw that mindset, because I went to the first couple meetings as a rookie. I didn't really know what they were like. Now that I've been on tour for almost a year, I feel like all I can do as a player is just try to play my best and let all the stuff that's going on off the course, controlling the game, kind of happen. There's not really much I can do. I'm not a voice like one of the top players in the world where my opinions truly matter, in my opinion, that much. If I continue to work on my craft and play really well out here, maybe, my voice could be bigger one day. But with that being said, there's so much going on. All I can do is focus on playing my best golf, and whatever happens with, the executives and people in charge of, the LIV Tour and this proposed merger, it's gonna work out the way it does. And all I can do as a player is try to play my best, because I know how many good players there are in this game, how many good players there are on the Korn Ferry Tour, how many good players there are on many tours trying to just get their opportunity at playing on, whether it's the PGA Tour, whether it's whatever tour. They're trying to chase after my spot, my spot here in the playoffs. Someone's going to try to take that next year. So all I can do is try to be really good on the golf course, and it's not I don't have the brain power to be thinking about some of those off-course things and controlling what happens with the tours. My job is to perform, and technically I'm an entertainer, and we're battling for meritocracy. That's one of the big things on the PGA Tour is meritocracy. So I know if I finish high, I'm gonna take care of a lot of things. So that's all I can do this week, and every week is just try to play my best, and I'm trying my best to avoid all the off-course stuff.
Well, you've earned that spot, Ben. Best of luck this week, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for having me.